This podcast right here is just for entertainment purposes. I am not a medical doctor, not a nutritionist, or a personal trainer. I am barely fucking qualified to operate a toaster. As Ruth Langmore so wisely said, I don't know shit about fuck, so don't trust me, don't listen to me. We're here just for shits and giggles. And if you trust me with health advice, then that's just natural selection at work. Don't do drugs, always listen to your GP. And with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get started.
Hi, welcome to the Optimization Lab podcast called Opticcast. Damn, we can't nail this shit not even once. With me, Nathan.
And me, Aubrey.
And me, Porgo. Hi, Porgo's joining us this time. Today, we actually wanted to talk about something that we feel like it's pretty needed, but not usually talked about. We talk a lot about how to optimize and how to make things better for your push phase, but we don't really talk about how to ruin a push phase. So we figured that this time we could have a few thoughts and share them with you guys on what we would do if we wanted to absolutely fuck up a growth phase. I know I'm not supposed to curse. Gross. Do it again. I like it. I'm nasty that way. So she has written 5 ways that she would ruin a push phase, and I have written 5 ways that I would ruin a push phase. And I guess we can start with you because I'm curious to see what yours are.
Mine are super cerebral, so just brace yourself, prepare yourself mentally for these.
Okay.
Don't sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Elaborate.
Don't worry about sleeping. It's not important, and you're eating more calories. You know, you got you got flexibility and everything. So just don't worry about it. You don't have to sleep at all. You can sleep like just a few hours one night, sleep a ton the next day. Doesn't matter if you get your solid 8 hours a night.
Yeah, I figured if I really wanted to like fuck up a push phase, I would probably not prioritize sleep. I mean, when I was writing material for my clients, the first book that I wrote, it's called How to Sleep. Literally the first resource before I even recorded a single how-to training video or anything like that, it was How to Sleep, because it's very hard to overstate how much of a pro and like a hack sleeping well is.
I edited that, or I was able to like read through it. I think the whole thing, and I was like, whoa, I'm learning so much.
Yeah. And when I was researching for it, I was also learning a lot. Like to the point that like a lot of coaches will say things like, you know, sleep is the best supplement. I say that it's probably the best performance enhancing drug. One of the reasons why we take growth hormone is because it helps you enhance the quality of your sleep. Growth hormone is already released at night when you're sleeping. So it's like you are in the environment that's more conducive for growth.
Recovery.
For recovery, if you're not really sleeping as much, like your body composition will change depending on what phase you're in. If you're in a fat loss phase, you're going to end up burning through muscle and you're going to end up not losing as much fat. So you can still lose the same amount of weight, but you're not going to lose the same amount of fat. And if you're trying to grow, you just will not grow to the same extent, to the same level. It just doesn't work that way because you need to have that recovery. So I think sleep is probably the most underrated thing. And it's the thing that everyone thinks that they do well, but they absolutely do fucking not. Whenever I'm onboarding people, I always ask like, what's your sleeping routine looks like? And the answer is usually like, just like take a shower and then I'm on my phone a little bit or watch something and then I go to sleep. And I was like, it is a routine because it's something that you do on a regular basis. So yes, it is a routine, but starting to implement things like visualization of like a good night of sleep, having some very calming music. It's something that I've been doing lately that helps a lot. Meditation can be very, very helpful. Reading something calm, not having anything that's stimulating, not having like a show that makes you laugh a bunch or that makes you super anxious or terrified. It's like all of these things, they really compound up. And if I wanted to make my sleep better, what I would probably do is I would make sure that my room is cold, very cold. I would want to make sure that I'm sleeping in comfortable clothes, which are either compression clothes or loose clothing, depends on what kind of person you are. There's no like cake recipe for that. I would also make sure that the room is as dark as possible. I would make sure that I'm spending money on a good mattress and that I have sheets that will make me stay cool throughout the night. I would take a relaxing shower before. I would have blue light glasses on for a few hours before going to sleep. Not so much because they block blue light for the release of melatonin, because we are usually taking melatonin exogenously in anyways, but more so that there's a ritual, a thing that you always do that starts signaling to your brain like, yo, it's time to start like chilling and relaxing and going to sleep soon.
Like, for example, what are the things? I mean, you do like all of those pretty much.
Yep.
Even meditation. Do you do meditation?
Well, it is a form of meditation, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah.
yes, I do. So I
Like
do like
mindfulness.
body scan. It's what it's called.
Yep.
So I'm like in the shower and I'm feeling like how tense I am. I feel the water in my head, and I just like close my eyes and I start like thinking about each part of my body and just like putting my attention there, and you can physically feel that body part releasing and just like becoming more chill or something like that. So I try to visualize like a good night of sleep and like what it feels like, and just wake up feeling rested and all this stuff. So yeah, that's something that I do. I take my supplements way before. I don't take them like 30 minutes before going to bed. I take them like 2 hours before going to sleep, just so that I'm very tired by the time that I'm like supposed to be falling asleep. Yeah.
I think I take mine closer to bedtime.
Yeah.
But I haven't typically had trouble falling asleep, but I have noticed that my sleep is interrupted a lot. Like I'll wake up stressed. I'll wake up with racing thoughts. I'll wake up with heat flashes, super restless,
You
etc.
still have heat flashes?
If I don't, well, this is if I don't wind down enough beforehand, then I'll fall asleep like this because I'm always exhausted.
Yeah.
But then I won't stay asleep. I won't have like a peaceful, restful night of sleep. And so yeah, I have the routines of like low light, when we are, watching a show or hanging out before, and then I take a hot shower, and I'll do like hugging myself like this in the shower, and then like deep breaths, and then I do have a mindfulness app that it has things
Shawty,
like,
if you were married with me, you wouldn't have to hug yourself in the shower. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, open invitation then.
Holy fuck, it's hot in this house, isn't it?
No,
My estrogen is not low for
Oh
the
my
first time
gosh.
since forever.
It's not
So
hot.
I get pretty fucking hot, man. It's 64 degrees in here, and I am like uncomfortably
We
hot
are
right now.
so comfy.
Yeah, the dog
So
is very comfy.
comfy.
Well,
She's-
my first way to
So-
ruin.
Well, I didn't actually finish, but I guess we're kind of beyond the topic.
Yeah, we are a little bit on the topic. So the way that I would ruin a push phase is by having either too much or too little training volume or intensity. So it's a thin line that you have to walk, right, between doing too much or doing too little. But either way, you're going to ruin your growth phase by doing too little or doing too much, just because there's not enough adaptation. And people fall into this because they just keep doing whatever they always have fucking done. So they're like, oh yeah, I usually do like 4 sets of this, and then I like to do like 3 sets of that, and then like depending on like what I'm feeling and like the phase of the moon and what my period cycle is like I will do this and that. Like that's what people who do this type of shit sound in my head. And they don't sound like that just in my head. They actually sound like that when I talk to them in real life. So no offense. I mean, yes, I do mean to offend. So yeah, that's one thing that I would do. I would misunderstand the relationship between volume and intensity. So that if I am raising the volume, I'm also keeping the intensity high, so that I will probably end up hurt, and I'll end up just chasing the number so much in the logbook that I am not actually putting on any size on the muscles that I want to stimulate. So I'm that guy that like is jacked at your gym. We all know that guy. He's most guys. He has big traps, big upper back, big arms, but the shittiest lats you have ever seen in your entire life. And probably shitty fucking legs as well. Like this guy, he has the intensity figured out, but he doesn't have the technique figured out. So the training volume ends up being allocated towards whichever body part they just are better at. So that's how I would do it. I would just either schedule too much training or too little training. I wouldn't even research this. I wouldn't even put any thought into it. I wouldn't talk to anyone about it. I would just sort of, do my own thing and just be too good to ask questions and too arrogant for personal training and stuff like that.
For my own experience, I said, do more sets than prescribed. So
that's a good
that's
one too.
very contextualized for me because I'm only doing a push phase because I'm doing the training program.
Yeah.
Right. So I would, but if I'm thinking, oh, push phase, like I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to like, do more. And so I have this thought for the last 2 weeks. I was like, I want to do more abs. I want to do more abs. I had 2 sets of leg raises. That was all I was supposed to do once a week. And I was like, I want to just go do something real quick, just at the end, you know? And I didn't because it wasn't on my program.
Good. Good girl.
Say it again.
My dog looked at me like, what?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And she's
What'd
like, what?
I'm about to take my pants off because of how hot I am. That's how bad
Why
it
don't
is.
you go put on some shorts?
Because I don't have enough battery on the phone for us to finish this podcast because I didn't charge it.
You could be
I have ADHD.
shirtless. So
I thought you were telling me to shut up for a second. You were like, you can be shirtless. Just saved yourself in the last moment.
No, but yeah, doing more sets than prescribed is something that I have thought about doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that if you do that, you would, like you're saying, you could over fatigue the muscle. You wouldn't be...
You just over fatigue yourself as a whole so that you're having to deload every like 3 weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we've talked about how you can hit a ceiling eventually in your bulk. And then it's like, okay, now time to pull back, and you don't want to hit that unnecessarily.
Did you just say bulk in my presence? You said bulk.
Oh.
You say hit a ceiling in your bulk. We have a rule here at home. Whenever someone says bulk, we punch them in the teeth. It keeps each other.
Starting today,
it keeps us in check.
Oh my gosh. But we've been talking about, all the questions from everybody are about bulking.
So disappointed at y'all. In y'all. With y'all.
So yeah, that's mine. So my next one though, are you ready?
Yeah.
Don't eat.
Don't eat. Fast.
So, but my point was...
What's the longest fast that has been recorded in human history? Jesus, 40 days in the desert. It is not Jesus. As a matter of fact, there's one motherfucker that fasted for 365 days in a study.
What did he or
she
eat?
Oh, his diet was very, very it was a fast.
Yeah, but...
He drank water.
He just drank water?
He just drank water.
How big was this guy before?
Big. Like big. Yeah, like Walmart scooter type of bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, don't eat. So
don't eat.
Your coach, or my coach,
she ate with that. So bad.
Prescribes a certain amount of calories for your not bulk push phase, and you ought to eat those calories, because otherwise, how are you refueling?
Yeah.
You're pushing, and you're doing certain things at the gym differently to fatigue the muscle, and you need to refuel. So you need to eat the freaking calories, and regardless of what the scale is saying, regardless of what your mind is saying, which ties into my next one.
Which you're gonna wait because it's my turn. Nah. I would take too much or too little or too many or too few drugs.
Yours is like you've multiplied each point by what, 5?
No. Okay, here's the rationale.
25.
I would do too much or too little drugs. Too much drugs and you get a fuck ton of side effects.
Okay.
So those are great because if you're feeling side effects, it means the drugs are working.
Clearly.
A lot of not clinically autistic people, man, That's a good way to make that word work. They just work. Their brain works that way. They're like, oh, if I'm feeling side effects, if I can't breathe, if I can't sleep, that means it's working. If my dick doesn't work anymore, that means it's working. Or I would also do the other extreme of that, which we see happening a lot, which is like, oh, you don't need that much to grow. You only need, I'm only taking this and I'm this big. So because it works for me, it must mean that for you, it would work the same way unless you're lazy. There's always this implied thing, which I fucking hate. It happens in sports as well. It happens a lot in shooting. It's like, oh, I made gym. I'm a national champion and I only shot 5,000 rounds in my entire career. Fuck you. Who gives a shit? However long it takes for you to achieve your goal, who gives a shit? It's the same thing as someone says oh, I only had to work part-time job and I became a millionaire. It's like, how is that any more honorable than the person that had to work 5 jobs to become a millionaire? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So you have to take however much drugs it requires for you to grow at the rate that you need to grow. Easier said than done, absolutely. But that's why you hired someone that knows what the fuck they're doing. But in any case, the other facet of that is that you do too many or too few drugs. It ties into the same thing. Doing too many drugs, it's usually what people think, and again, not diagnosed people, but they certainly are fucking not the brightest. They're like, oh, I want to take like testosterone for to get like the strength and like the bulky look, but then like I want Deca to get like the like the roundness, and then I want like EQ to like give me a little bit more dryness to the look, and then I want like drugs. They work all the same fucking way pretty much. There's very few drugs that actually do anything for the look, and in general, when people are like, oh, this drug made me dry, I was like, you're just like fucking lean. That's the only thing that changed. It's like, oh, this drug made me dry. I was like, your estrogen is low. Like, that's all that it means. So people usually, like, they combine a fuck ton of drugs, and then when something goes wrong, which inevitably it does, they don't know what the fuck went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem, and it usually happens with the people that are trying to take too much. So that's how it ties into it.
Too much of...
Too many drugs, or too much drugs.
Like, too many types.
Too many options, too many milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
The other end of it is taking too little, right? Or taking too few drugs. So let's say, for instance, that for you to grow, you need 500 milligrams of total anabolics as a whole. But you know that you cannot tolerate more than 300 milligrams of testosterone a week. So you could take too little milligrams, and you would be taking 300 milligrams of testosterone a week. It's not enough for you to grow. In this case, it would make sense for you to add more compounds and go push the other 200 milligrams from something like EQ or nandrolone or fucking NPP, which is fucking nandrolone anyways, or fucking Mastron if you can find it, or Primo if you're made out of money, or something like that, you know? So like that's why they all like tie in together. It's because it usually it just means you're doing too much or you're doing too little. It's essentially the previous point, but with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do too much, you're going to have side effects. You do too many and too much, you don't know what the fuck went wrong. You do too much and you do not a lot of drugs, you're definitely going to have side effects. Because now if you have like, you need 1 gram, but you can only tolerate 300 milligrams of testosterone, and you do 1 gram of testosterone, you're fucked. You're going to have so many side effects, you know? So that's kind of like why it's all built into the same point. I cheat the system, but I made the rules. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, I would fuck my face up if I did that. That would be a good way to fuck it up. And people do this all the time. This is the most common way that people fuck it up. The previous one is how natural people fuck up. This one is once you have, the guts and you have the means and you know where to get drugs, but you don't have the brain to be able to manage how to do them well. Yeah. Your turn.
Body shame yourself.
You fat slut.
No, so
you thick.
It kind of tied into the whole don't eat thing, because if you will likely see you will hopefully see body weight increases at a rate that's manageable.
Pause. This is actually a good example. I'm hot as fuck. I know that this is because of estrogen. I know exactly what each one of the compounds that I'm taking does to my body. So I know exactly which one to change. It's a simple change. It's just one thing that I need to change. I don't need to change a bunch of stuff. I don't need to be like, oh,
and now test it out.
Yeah, or take another drug. Like, oh, I just need to take an AI, or I just need to take a SERM or something like that. Like, you don't need a SERM for this, but I just need to take an AI. Or test it out, or like pull the phase, or like end the phase now. Or it's like, no. I know how I respond to these drugs because I did it systematically, adding one after the other and at different times and with different milligrams, and I do blood work on them and stuff. So I know. It's just my body fat is higher. That means that the testosterone is actually converting at estrogen at a faster rate. So I can either raise my EQ or I can drop the testosterone. Lowering the dose is not a possibility. I just raise the EQ.
Nice.
Simple. Anyway, sorry.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That was from a show that I watched.
20.
20. So good. Okay, body shame yourself. So
Yeah.
you're eating more calories, the weight's going up like it's supposed to, but if you just came out of like a huge fat loss phase and cut, then you've been happy when the scale has been going down, and you've been happy as you're getting leaner, and now it's time to build back some mass onto your body, and the scale is going up, and so it's this huge weird mind game that's happening.
Yeah.
And especially if you start noticing, like I noticed, I was like, my arms, like my shoulder definition goes away. My arms start looking, because I hold fat in my arms. Like
everyone does, yeah.
No, I know, but mine are just
you do hold a
genetically
lot of fat in your
for
arms
something.
are fat as fuck.
So fat.
You're so
fat,
fucking fat.
flabby arms.
Fat, flabby, ugly ass fucking arms.
Exactly.
Marcus.
So, Marcus.
No, he doesn't say that. He says Robert. Marcus is the little guy.
True.
Wow.
Robert.
Sorry.
Anyway, but then I also noticed, like, okay, like around my waist, it's not like abolitious. It's a little fluffy down there, What?
I'm thinking about Marcus memes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the Adderall has worn off people. But yeah, body shame yourself and just kind of what is it called? Not marinating. Resonating. Marinating. Marinating on the thoughts.
Jesus.
I guess you could do that too. Resonating on these negative thoughts that kind of come in. But when they come in, you just kind of notice and you're like, nope, that's not true. Boop. And then focus on what you're trying to accomplish, is building muscle, and trust your coach and talk to your coach if you're having these thoughts too.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. It's you start noticing that your body changes in a way that you don't really appreciate.
You will start to if you do not recognize the thought for what it is and communicate it to your coach, you will start compensating for it somehow.
Yes.
Without even necessarily being cognizant of it, and it's just it's like this creeping thing. So you'll start to eat a little bit less, or you'll start, instead of measuring your food the way you always have,
just do more steps, or just
just
have so much energy,
extra.
just do cardio, just run for a run. Is this really okay?
Yeah, or you'll just eat like a tiny bit less, like just a few calories less, or something.
It's like, oh dang it, I skipped one meal. Fuck. Guess I'm gonna go to sleep. One day is not gonna matter. It matters.
Yeah.
It all compounds.
And so it's better to be, to be honest with your coach, to talk about these things, to realize them for what they are, to journal them down, to ask questions. Like I would say, hey, I noticed the scale's going up, kind of faster than I thought. Is that okay? Is that normal? Like, is this what you were anticipating? Is there something I need to change? And he'd say yes or no. Or
and also like recognize what type of body you appreciate the most. Because some guys also they usually appreciate the higher body fat level because they look bigger on clothes. So they don't want to look skinny on clothes, but they also don't want to either do what it takes to put on muscle, right? Or do it for long enough. So just recognize what is your most comfortable spot, and just recognize that whichever phase you're in, whether it's fat loss or muscle growth, one of them is going to be more uncomfortable for you in terms of body image. If both of them are uncomfortable in terms of body image, you're done fucked up and you probably need some help. But or you just need more time to actually put on muscle, because there's a certain body, skinny fat. Man, I was skinny fat for so fucking long. It sucks. You're not lean, and you're also not fat, and you're also not muscular. You just look like a fucking...
I was in that.
Briga.
I was in that for a while. I felt like I was in that.
Oh.
Okay? I felt like I was in that, where it was just it didn't make sense. Okay, my shoulders are coming in, but my legs...
remember you not...
Dude, my legs would not... my legs are so long. My femurs are so long.
It takes a long time to build them, yeah.
Yeah,
long
and my
calves,
man. It was like a freaking
your calves
triangle.
Are looking good. I saw on the check-in. I'm like, damn, look at that.
It's evening out, and so it does eventually catch up. But just the hot dog legs, were there for so long, and it was so frustrating to be there. But you just stick with it and you do what you're prescribed. But also, yeah, you just have to give it time.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know if you've just kind of started your journey on this, and maybe you've had like a very extended, I don't know if you would call the whole thing a cut, but you're just getting into the groove of it, and then you have a pretty, a cut where you're trying to get rid of body fat, and now it's time to rebuild. Like, you haven't even gone through the process of rebuilding ever. So it's not like you've been through seasons of, cut phases, health phases, push phases, cut phases, health phases, push phases, to be able to know, like you're saying, what kind of body you like. Give it some time. Like, in the first couple months, like, give it some time to see, maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like how you feel. Maybe you'll like how you look. And
yeah,
then,
give it time. Cause this is like, I've been like higher body fat, and I don't think I look so bad. I mean, I don't think I look good, but I don't think I look so bad. I'm kind of getting used to the look and learning to appreciate the look as well. It's like some days you feel like shit, but then some other days you learn to love yourself. And I feel like having more of those days, like giving yourself the opportunity to have those days, it's really, really helpful. Yeah.
especially, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Here's another way that I would fuck up a growth phase. I would change my exercises every week. Or
Dude, or we were supposed to come up with 5. We were supposed to come up with 5 things.
It
dude.
is. I would either not change. I would change my exercises every week, or if I'm not changing them, I would just not log the weights. So, like, people fall into either one of those. Usually, they usually just walk into the gym and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever. Today is chest, so I guess I'm gonna do like a flat press, and then I'm just gonna do like an incline press, and then I'm gonna do dumbbells flat press, and then dumbbells incline press, and then I'm just gonna do like some cable flies at the end, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna, probably do like some dips at the end, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? But
It's
then
so much anxiety. I cannot do that.
I know, and I used to train this way, but it's just so bad. The whole muscle confusion type of thing. It's not a thing. Like, your muscles don't fucking know, man. There's no such thing as muscle confusion. Your muscles are always confused when you're like just adding a bunch of fucking weight on them. But then the other end, it's like people that always do the same thing, but they don't track their fucking weights, so they never realize they're like, oh man, I've been squatting the same fucking weight for the past 2 months. Something is wrong. You shouldn't have that unless you're an intermediate to advanced or advanced person. An intermediate to advanced would still progress it faster than 2 months, even if it's just in terms of like the execution becoming smoother or something like that. Once you're very advanced, you might only see progression in the block to block. So like it may be that like every 8 weeks or so, you're going up in 1 rep or something like that. Very possible. But until that point, which is the majority of people that are listening to us, no, man, you should be seeing weight going up or your reps going up every single fucking week. And if you're not tracking this shit, you don't remember. You don't remember. I remember just because I think about this shit so much. But if I really wanted to not make any progress, I would just eyeball it and just like walk into the gym and just test the wind. Is like, okay, I guess I'm going to do this, and that today.
Yeah, I can't even do that because my brain, like my working memory is so bad, I can't even remember what exercise I'm supposed to do next.
Shit.
I don't remember what my seat settings were. I don't remember what weight it should be. I don't remember anything. So I just put all my notes, and literally when I'm on the treadmill, like warming up, I look at what am I going to do today? And then it tells me, and I rely on that heavily.
Yeah. I still do that. I still on the treadmill. I still look at it, but it's more for visualization. I'm like thinking like, man, it's going to be a fucking killer workout. It's going to be so fucking good.
He's always asking me like the day before, so what are you working out at the gym tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know. I normally know if it's going to be legs or upper body, because I'll know like, okay, I did upper body, and then I'll do some leg stuff tomorrow. So like I also pick my gym clothes.
Exactly what I'm doing tomorrow.
Helps me pick my gym clothes. Yeah. I don't know exactly.
Next reason.
Next reason?
Next non-reason. I mean, next way that you would ruin a push phase.
Eat crap.
Nice.
Be
a dog.
Crap. So you've got all these additional calories. So yeah, go to town. Just eat crap.
Mm-hmm. You're going to feel great.
Yeah, you're going to feel so good. Your digestive system is going to thank you. And so is everyone that lives with you, that shares a bathroom with you. They're also going to love you so much. Yeah. eat crap because now you have the room to, right?
I mean, there's a reason we eat good food. It's one, because it makes you healthier. Two, because it actually makes you feel good. But three, it's because it's actually food that helps you grow very well. Now, you're going to grow whether you eat 5,000 calories of shit or 5,000 calories worth of vegetables. You're going to grow either way. The point is that one of them is going to support a better digestive system, and a
Mhm.
better digestive system is going to partition nutrients better. And if your insulin sensitivity is good, you're also going to partition nutrients better. So in order to create the best environment for those calories to actually go towards muscle growth, you want to have good food in place. This is the most expensive part of this whole thing. It's the fucking food, man. I wish we could spend less, but we spend almost a fucking $1,000 a month just on food for both of us, because it's like almost 8,000 calories a day for both of us combined, and that's a
Yep.
lot of food, and it has to be good quality of food. So it's something that it's an investment, and you have to do it. If you try to cut corners here, unless you're very young or just starting out, it's not really going to work well for you.
And yeah, and I think it requires you to plan as well because you can't cram. Once you get to a point where you're eating a lot of calories, like I'm at 3,000, like over 3,000 calories.
3,100, 3,100, yeah.
I can't wait until the end of the day to eat that. I felt so sick the other day because I was like rice, chicken. I think I already had vegetables mixed in and sourdough, and I just couldn't finish.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, now I gotta just drink all this like sugar and
Yeah.
eat all these Rice Krispie treats
Oh,
and
you
everything.
feel like
Just trying
shit.
to, yeah. And so you have to plan. So now I just kind of front load my days with
Uh-huh.
more carbs and stuff. And it's not like you can eat some kind of like a frozen meal or go get a cheeseburger necessarily because my fat's still low.
Mm-hmm.
My carbs are what keeps increasing. My protein
Mhm.
stays the same. My fat stays the same. So you just have to be mindful and plan, but you can still eat decent food.
Yeah.
And yeah, so don't just
Yeah.
eat crap.
Mine is a spin off of that. I said get sloppy with extra bites or start rounding out your food weight. So
What do you
like
mean?
so like when you're grabbing something to eat, you're gonna like grab your chicken or whatever. There's a little bit of chicken that's like left. You just like take an extra bite. It's fine if it's chicken, like right for most of it. But if it's like you're grabbing nuts or you're grabbing some dried fruit and you just have like one little bite as you're putting on everything in there, those
Mm,
things compound. Also, rounding out the weight. Is it rounding out or rounding off?
we're ending up, I think.
Rounding
Up.
up? No, rounding down in this case then. It's like you have 300 grams of rice. You put it in there, it's like 317. And then you take it off and it's like 280. And then you put it back and it's like 350 and you're like, fuck it. It's like, yeah, it's 300. It's not
Mhm.
300. 300 is 300. 305 is not 300. 298 is not 300. Now, you don't have to get super pedantic with like those like 2 grams, 5 grams or whatever. But 10 grams, like depending on what food you're eating, it makes
Yeah.
a fuck ton of difference. 10 grams of potatoes, not that big of a deal. 10 grams of vegetables, literally doesn't fucking matter. But 10 grams of fucking dried fruit, 10 grams of nuts, that's nuts. Like
Yeah.
it makes so much of a difference. So just create it as a rule for yourself so you don't have to think about this stuff. If you don't want to like fuck up your growth phase and end up having to go on another fucking cut again, which sucks because it means you're going to be eating way less. So
Don't do
don't
that.
just use this rule for you, because you don't. If you're like, oh man, like it's just 10 grams, it doesn't matter. I was like, well, what if those 10 grams compounded on all of those meals over the course of 20 some weeks, 30 weeks, 40 weeks is going to be the reason that you're going to have to do this only for 18 weeks, and then you're going to have to now cut 300 grams worth of food because you're going to be on a deficit now because you need to fix this shit. So that's
Just be disciplined.
yeah, it's a very sneaky way to fuck up your push phase, your growth phase. It's very easy to do it. It's like not that big of a deal, but it really is though. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Sweet.
The last one for all 5 of them would be self-coaching without actually coaching. What do I mean? I don't have a problem with people self-coaching at all. I coach myself, right? But what does this mean? What does a coach do? A coach should be managing your diet, should be managing your training, should be reviewing your execution of your lifts, and should make sure that you're progressing at a manageable rate, should handle all of your variables in your life, like help you with your sleep, help you with your recovery, help you with your, enhancing your sex life or your cognitive life and all of those things. If you're calling us like, oh, I don't have a coach, I just like coach myself, you just going to the gym and eating, you're not self-coaching.
Yeah.
That's how you end up fucking stagnant. And that's why most people self-coach, and that's why most people look like fucking most people. They look like that. So if you want to end up just like that, do this. Like, just eat as much as you think works. Don't take check-in photos. Who needs that? Don't weigh yourself daily. Just do it every now and then. It's okay. Don't track your weights. Don't make videos of your lifting and then review them. Or if you make videos, just take videos so you can post them. But don't actually review them. Don't compare week to week to see if your form has gotten better or sloppier. Don't do that. Just take whatever drugs you think you should take, but don't don't actually analyze what was your growth rate at the previous phase and whether that was coherent with your goals. Don't do that. Just take whatever it's available, whatever you have for as many milligrams as you have. Previous one was 500 milligrams. This one is 300. Next one is like 1,000. It's just just do whatever. And don't really think much about your diet. Don't think much about the food. Don't think about supplements. Don't look over your diet to think like, oh, I need to supplement this type of vitamin or at this time. Don't think about when to take your pills. Or just like, well, this should be taken fasted. Well, this is actually fat soluble, so it should be taken with food, preferably with a good amount of. Don't think about any of this shit. Just self-coach. Self-coaching is stupid because this is what self-coaching normally looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna actually coach, like the way that I do it for myself, I do it with every other fucking client.
Mm-hmm.
I have videos that I submit every week. I have photos that I do for my check-in every single week. My photos are taken at the same spot with the same lighting, with the same camera on the same tripod at the same height every single fucking week. I'm reviewing my food every week. I'm reviewing my adherence to the plan, and if I'm not adhering to the plan, I make a change because I also sometimes don't adhere to the plan, and it just means that the plan is not working for me, so I just need to make a quick change. So I make those adjustments. I make adjustments on supplements. I do blood work, and I analyze my blood work, and I record check-in videos for myself. I talk to myself, which you may not need to do it, but I actually appreciate the ritual and just going over once a week and just being like, okay, this is what's going well. This is what needs improvement because remember, this is the goal, right? So keep your focus and stuff like that. That's what self-coaching should look like. The other way, you're just fucking winging it, and you're going to end up looking like everyone who wings it,
Yeah, the analysis portion has to be there.
Yeah, that's the
coaching part.
Yeah.
The analysis of the data. And how are you supposed to analyze data you don't have?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So good. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I think that it's simple and boring to do these things.
Yeah.
So it's not like, ooh, a push phase, like super exciting, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. And what does that look like? It looks like probably slow increases in calories. You're still doing all your check-in stuff. You're still doing exactly what your coach said. You're still submitting your videos. So it's like
the increase in calories is very small.
Yeah, and you'll see changes, and you'll see growth, and you'll see the weights going up and all of this stuff, and that's exciting. But just remember, you're not looking for some exciting adventure.
Yeah.
It's like it's still the routine, it's still the ritual, and but over time, you're gonna see the change.
Yep.
And my hot dog legs,
have
gone away, kind of, sort of.
They're going away, slow and steady. Yeah, my closing thoughts are, if you want to mess this up, just don't really give it too much thought. Just do whatever. That's what most people end up doing, and that's the reality is probably if you're watching it, that's probably what you're doing. Really, really analyze your whole process to see whether you're actually coaching yourself, whether you're reviewing how your diet is going, how your training is going, how whether you're doing too much, whether you're doing too little, whether you're hold yourself accountable, right? Because that's what you need to do if you're self-coaching. You're literally holding yourself accountable. It's funny how many people will say things like, oh, I couldn't work for myself because I need that accountability, but then they don't have a coach. And I'm like, same fucking, like, how does that fucking work, man? Um, so yeah, just make sure that you're actually like policing yourself, because at the end of the day, it's left on the table, and you don't want to do that, right? We eat in a caloric surplus because we don't want to leave gains on the table. We take drugs because we don't want to leave gains on the table. We don't do it because we want to just do this faster, but it's just because we want to do it to a level that's, above what the average is. And if you are someone who wants to have, your results be something that it's above what the average is, you have to go above what the average does. You have to go there. And yeah, it's just important for you to have that mindset and just know what to expect. Like, if you are going to be doing this on your own, you need to be able to do all of these things and manage all of these variables very well by yourself. So yeah, dog, do you have any closing thoughts? No, she doesn't have any closing thoughts. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for being here with us. For the following week, we're gonna have a nice interview with Emily. So hope you guys stay tuned, and we'll see each other again the week after. Peace out, guys.
See you later.